What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. I want to play a few clips because it has come out, not that it's a shock to most people that have common sense, that Donald Trump, we know he's used the N-word and has used it with his gut to the core, from his heart, and he definitely used it with the ER at the end, not him when he was possibly doing some photo ops with some rappers and then saying, you know, what's up, ma? But anyway, I want to play these clips because, again, it's not a shock to most people, but all this man does is lie. And the fact, I'm not even sharing this because someone said that he's said it, and they also have him on tape saying that he said, saying it. It's the mere fact that he and people from his camp has said that he has never used this word, and it's not even in his vocabulary. So this is why I'm talking about it. To me, this is like, it's not a shock. It definitely is his MO. We know that his dad was sued and fined for housing discrimination. We know that he has a history of it as well. So, again, this is not a shock. But again, him saying that it's not even in his vocabulary, it's like, why you gotta lie? Why you gotta lie? So let me go ahead and play these clips. This one is from the former producer of The Apprentice.
A discussion of who would be declared the winner of season 1, Pruitt says that Donald Trump was recorded using the N-word, a word that Trump himself once insisted is not even in his vocabulary. CNN has not verified the tape's existence, and I should note that Trump's campaign flatly denied these claims made by Pruitt, telling CNN, quote, "This is a completely fabricated and BS story that was already peddled in 2016. Nobody took it seriously then, and they won't now because it's fake news." Bill Pruitt joins me now for his first television interview since making these accusations in that Slate piece. And Bill, it's great to have you here. I want to talk about the NDA and the limits of it in a moment. But first, on that explosive allegation in this, can you just describe for viewers what you say you saw happen and what you heard from Donald Trump?
Sure. First of all, The Apprentice, which is 20 years old now, when it debuted, is a FCC-regulated game show. That means that the Federal Communications Commission regulated whether or not we could tell Trump who to fire and who to hire. Okay? And in that, we had to strategically find a way to consult with this guy. He's very busy at the time. He's a quote-unquote billionaire, on how we would go about telling the story in the boardroom. So our showrunner wisely decided that we would record all of our conversations with Trump about what happened in the field, whether it was with the two finalists or all the other contestants appearing before him in the boardroom. We went about telling him the pluses and minuses of each character in a very balanced sort of way. We recorded all of these things. Kwame Jackson was known to do this. Bill Rancic would do that. And we shared that with him in equitable terms because we want it to feel like a horse race. We want these two people to seem like they're going to outmatch one another all the way through to the finish line. And it'll be basically eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
And then Trump will make his decision on who he hires.
And so then you say it was in that discussion between those two contestants that you heard Trump say the N-word.
So basically, we're there, the producers, and Carolyn Capture and George Ross, who are the two advisors who work for Trump at the Trump Organization. And they're allowed a little bit more leeway because they work for Trump. So they get to say things that we can't say necessarily directly. And at one point, Carolyn Capture, who was the head of his hospitality unit and ran one of his golf clubs, sort of came outside herself and said, Kwame Jackson oversaw Omarosa, who was brought back onto the task and created all kinds of problems for herself and other people all along the season, but was great TV and was kept around for whatever reason. And for that, Carolyn Capture thought well, Kwame deserves to be considered for how graceful he was in handling this. And we all sort of agreed. But it was tilting things in a direction that we didn't necessarily need it to go because we wanted to share an equitable story. And Trump seemed to have an issue with this idea all along. You could see him reacting and shaking his head, wobbling his head, grimacing, wincing, before he said, yeah, but would America buy then he said the N-word, winning. And I remember I was looking right at Carolyn when this was spoken, and she is a very pretty blonde woman whose skin went bright scarlet. And then I looked at Trump to see the reaction that he was giving, like it was some sort of joke, and he was still wincing and bobbing his head, and he was serious. And
wow.
Well, no shock there, but again, that is one of the former producers of The Apprentice. And now I want to play this clip. This is from the winner of one of the seasons of The Apprentice, the African-American guy, the only African-American winner, who, by the way, had to share his win with a Caucasian because Donald Trump could not take it to just have an African-American solely as the winner.
Former Apprentice producer Bill Pruitt came out today and announced, he said that his NDA expired after 20 years. And he said that in Trump talking about Kwame Jackson winning The Apprentice, he used the N-word. This is from the box story right here. Of course, this was talked about beforehand, but here you have a producer who's on record saying, I heard it, and it's on tape. Then you also, guys, let me know if y'all have that video. Then you have this leaked audio that came out of staffers, various staffers of the Trump campaign. I think it was Katrina Pearson. We don't have it? All right. It was Katrina Pearson. It was Omarosa and Lynn Wyatt, I believe. They were talking. They were talking about how to handle this video coming out, and one of them said, "Look, he said it." This here is this was put out by the Biden-Harris campaign. Watch this.
I'm trying to find out at least what context it was used in to help us maybe try to figure out a way to spin it. I said, well, sir, can you think of any time that this might have happened? And he said no.
Well, that's not true.
He goes, how do you think I should handle it? And I told him exactly what you just said, Marissa, which is, well, it depends on what scenario you're talking about. And he said, well, why don't you just go ahead and put it to bed? I don't know what the scandal is. He said it. I'm trying to find out at least.
Here you have Katrina Pearson, who just won a Republican nomination for a state house seat in Texas, who said, he said it. He's embarrassed. Your thoughts on what Bill Pruitt is released today?
I'm not surprised. Not at all surprised. I mean, this has been rumored for years now, and I've had direct conversations with other Apprentice producers who maybe 6-7 years ago called me up to say, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. He's on tape, and if this thing leaks, people are going to be coming to you to give comments. So this is not...
So hold on one second. So other Apprentice producers, other than Bill Pruitt, called you in the past to tell you that Donald Trump was on tape using the N-word.
Yes, they said the tapes exist. Don't know if they'll see the light of day because they were under the control of Mark Burnett Productions. But as a courtesy to me, they're like, if you are wondering whether or not those tapes exist, they exist. So again, no surprise. And even when I think about my finale from The Apprentice, and you know this story as well as anyone, some of your listeners may not recall, there were 7 seasons of The Apprentice. There were 3 before me, because I was season 4, and there were 3 after me. The first 3 winners were white. Season 4, first only black winner, you're looking at him. Season 5, 6, and 7, all white winners. I'm the only winner across all 7 that he asked to share the title. Now, putting that out of context with what Bill Pruitt has shared, it begs the question, well, why would he do that? If I give Donald the benefit of the doubt, I say, well, that was racially insensitive, Donald. But I don't give him benefit of the doubt. So I say it's racist. Well, people say, well, where's your evidence? Well, now Bill Pruitt comes forward and says, well, season 1, Kwame Jackson and Bill Rancic, you had another white and a black in the finale. What does Donald say? Well, here's the receipts. We don't want to see an N-word win The Apprentice. Well, how will America react if an N-word wins The Apprentice? Which completely explains why when Randall Pinkett emerges in season 4 as the objective winner who he can't deny, he then says, well, how can I undermine the victory? Because I can't not have Randall win. The dude's undefeated. He has the best team record. Everyone here is voting for Randall to win. So what do? Ask him to share the title with the white runner-up. I was insulted then. I'm insulted now. And for all those who said, oh, Randall, you're a sore winner, you should have shared. Really? Listen to what Bill Pruitt said. And after his NDA expired, Bill Pruitt only had the seeds that were planted in season 1 that then germinated for season 4 when I was in the finale. That's what I say.
Well, some people are saying, well, that's old news has come out. I think Trump released a statement saying Mark Burnett says the tapes don't exist. Well, now he's going to have to answer to one of his former producers who say the tapes do exist.
Yeah. And I give Bill credit because there's a lot of people in the Apprentice circles who are definitely afraid of speaking out against Donald. You'll recall I did a press conference when Donald announced his candidacy for president and recruited, or I should say tried to recruit other former Apprentice contestants to stand with me in denouncing his candidacy. And only 7 of us, only 6 were willing to stand with me. Kwame Jackson, Tara Dowdell, Marshawn Evans, Surya Yalamanchili, and James Sun, and then Brother Kevin were the only folks who had the courage to stand up and denounce Donald's candidacy. Again, history will prove that that was the right thing to do because there's never a wrong time to do the right thing.
So you heard what he had to say. And again, like I said, I'm not shocked. And most people that have sense knows that it's the truth. But I wanted to share it with you guys so that you can let me know what you think about it. And I also wanted to share it because it's like, if he didn't come out and make a statement that this word has never and is not now in his vocabulary whatsoever, I possibly would be like, okay, yeah, they got him on tape saying it. It's in his heart. It's what he really believes about the people who have way more melanin than he tries to spray or bake onto his skin that comes out looking orange. But yeah, it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.